If you're looking for some of the best old-fashioned burgers and cakes in town, Lotta Burger is the place to go for all of your favorites. Lotta Burger, 2260 South 3rd, Memphis, Tennessee, 901-946-2001. They're open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6:45 p.m. And the items on their menu include single, double, triple burgers, Philly sandwiches, smoked sausage, beef hot dogs, grilled cheese, tenders, fries, onion rings, and more. Call-in orders must be done before 11 a.m. No calls accepted after 11 a.m. Drive-thru is available. Hungry for a burger? Lotta Burger, 2260 South 3rd, Memphis, Tennessee, 901-946-2001. Don't just settle for any burger. Get a Lotta Burger.
Big Graphic Printing, located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, a complete print shop for all your printing needs. They do it all: color copy, resume, funeral program, rubber stamp, full color business cards, wedding and graduation invitations, and more. 30 plus years of quality work and service. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, Tennessee, 901-345-9294. Big Graphic Printing.
Are you tired of going to the doctor with the same issue over and over again and never getting any relief? Are you tired of buying all types of vitamins and supplements, hoping but not knowing for sure that they will keep you healthy? Or are you getting enough of the right kind of nutrients that your specific body needs? If you answer yes to any of these questions, you need a nutritional blood analysis. With a nutritional blood analysis, we can take one drop of blood from a prick of your finger and analyze your body's nutritional needs, nutritional deficiencies, and nutritional imbalances. This analysis can provide an early warning of possible future health challenges, so you can make changes now to avoid a negative outcome. A nutritional blood analysis can be used to monitor a health challenge before and after adopting an approach to restore health and balance. It will also allow you the ability to determine the effectiveness of various approaches to restoring and balancing your health. So don't wait. Make your appointment. Stop guessing with your health. Know what works for sure. 901-602-7063.
CJU's Appliances, located at 3530 Jackson Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-487-7882. CJU's Appliances have the best prices in town. Sales and service, heating and air. Also the best appliances you'll find anywhere in the Mid-South. Refrigerators, microwave stoves, washers and dryers, deep freezers, dishwashers, whatever you need in used appliances. And folks will tell you they're the best used appliances anywhere you'll find. That's CJU's Appliances, 3530 Jackson Avenue. All appliances come with warranty. You can call them at 901-487-7882. Again, 901-487-7882. CJU's Appliances.
C&S Motors Auto Sales, located at 2508 Southern Avenue, here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-323-8778. C&S Motors Auto Sales has been around since 1984. Go by and see Chris Day for some of the best pre-owned and used vehicles in the city. They have SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, whatever you're looking for in pre-owned used vehicles. Hey, you can find it right there at C&S Motors Auto Sales. See Chris since 1984. They will treat you right. Call them at 901-323-8778. That's 901-323-8778. 2508 Southern Avenue, C&S Motors Auto Sales.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.
Gotta get it in a big time way. Let's get it on the grind, head on the line. Gotta stay focused, gotta keep go hard or go home. Go long and go strong. Don't back down or give in. When it's tough, that's when we press on. Gotta dig deep, gotta dig in. Hunger for the victory, hunger for the win. Ready to make a play, let's get it in. Swag on point, yeah, swag on 10. It's go time, it's show time, it's my time in my town. Big time players make big time plays, but believe it's about to go down.
And we are live in the building. TalkBack Live. We are here. We are ready to get it on a Monday. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, for watching, for listening. Wherever you may be, however you may be checking me out on this day. And man, what a day we have today. I always tell folks, man, y'all better tell folks to tune in on this show because there's so much happening in the world of sports. If you don't know, or you are just sleeping, you need to wake up and see what's going on in the world of sports when it comes to Memphis, man. Well, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to tell y'all. That's what I'm here for. Joshua Midget is my host for TalkBack Live Sports. I'm here each and every Monday through Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. right here on TalkBack Live Network. Man, I appreciate, once again, y'all for tuning in and checking me out because there's a whole lot going on. A whole lot to talk about and a whole lot to discuss. So, big time stuff going on. But real quick, before I get into all that, give some more y'all some time to come in because I got too much lined up here for people to miss it. So it's gonna come on in, man. Y'all see some more people coming in. But once again, the number to call in is 901-213-6020. Once again, 901-213-6020. And we are here ready to talk about the world of sports in Memphis. And it is a very exciting time for multiple reasons because, number one, and most importantly, and it's amazing that we've come to this point when it comes to Tiger football, that they are the number one story in a world
where you have the Memphis Tigers playing a preseason game tonight, and the season is around a week away, in a world where the Memphis Grizzlies have potentially the next superstar in the franchise's history on their roster, and a guy that had his coming out party on last night against Kyrie Irving at FedEx Forum. In a time where all of this is happening, Memphis Tigers football is the main topic of discussion, and I love it, and I know y'all love it too. And if you don't, well, you need to love it, because this is a big-time moment for Tigers sports, and specifically Memphis Tigers football. Y'all coming on in. Join the conversation, man. I'm here. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know how fired up you are for College Game Day. That's right. College Game Day is coming to Memphis. It is officially official, and it was made officially official, if I could use that phrasing. I feel like less than 30 minutes ago on Twitter, everybody was watching the College Game Day Twitter account, right? We're like, man, what's going to happen? When are they going to reveal what the situation is when it comes to College Game Day and Memphis? Is it even going to happen? A lot of speculation going on with that. I've heard a lot of things, seen a lot of tweets, talked to people. It seemed like the holdup was logistics and where exactly they're going to hold it. But now we know where they're going to hold it. And if you haven't heard, well, I'm going to just let the video speak for itself. There it is. SMU Memphis. College Game Day, as you know, powered by the Home Depot, as they always say, man. This is huge. I'm going to tell y'all something. This is a little bit into me, the sports fan, right? So, and I think most people around my age probably feel the same way. You cannot tell me this does not resonate with you if you have followed Memphis Tigers football for any amount of time whatsoever. Think about this. I grew up watching Game Day, and Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit and all those guys. It was just something about waking up on Saturday mornings, getting your breakfast, doing whatever you're going to do that morning, and you have to watch Game Day. At least that's the way it was to me. And, getting you fired up for the games. But it was one of those things where, especially if you've been around Memphis at all, and you thought, man, that is so cool to see the crowd for those schools and how much they care for their football program. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a football program that we could love like that? Wouldn't it be nice if we had a football program that we could care about, that ESPN would even give two hoots about and come down here and do a game day? Wouldn't that be great? But in the back of your mind, you knew it was never going to happen. It's the way you felt. It was never going to happen. Nobody could have ever anticipated that this day would come, and it is here. And I got a lot of comments out to y'all. Some of y'all coming in on the different Tigers group. A lot of Go Tigers Go from Patricia Fields, Linda Daniels, Mary, Loletta, Gina. All of them are saying Go Tigers Go, can't wait. Holly says, going to be on Bill. Then we will head to Tiger Lane afterwards. Jim McFarland says, if Corso doesn't put the tiger on his head, I hope Lawler jumps on stage and power drives him. Oh, man. And if Kirk doesn't pick the Tigers, I expect to see Dundee smash a chair over his head. Well, I know they're both up in age at this point. I don't know if they're going to be doing all that action. But I definitely feel what you're saying. But this is a huge deal, man. It's something that you never thought would actually take place. And like I said, if you've watched Tiger football for any amount of time, you know the pain, the suffering. And as one former coach said himself, it's painful. And this was a guy that had the Tigers at a decent point at one point in his tenure. It wasn't great all the time. But he gave us one of the best Tigers in the history of the school, and that was Tommy West. And arguably, one could say that Tommy West's speech when he was no longer the coach at the University of Memphis was the Kickstarter to the future. Maybe if you don't even want to say the Kickstarter, if you want to say the jumping point or the blueprint to how to get people to care about Tiger football again, to get to the point of winning again. Tommy West, he had his flaws as a coach, but his passionate speech rings true even to this very day in my eyes. As a matter of fact, how about we flash back to that point?
It's painful for coaches, for players, and for people, for fans. It's painful. Put something in it or do away with it, one or the other. That's what they should do. And I don't say that in a negative. I've been here 9 years. I got 9 years of my life invested here. Hard years. Fighting years. Every day a fist fight. Got to do one other because it's too painful. It's painful for coaches, for players, and for people, for fans. It's painful. Put something in it or do away with it, one or the other. That's what they should do. And I don't say that in a negative way. I've been here 9 years. I got 9 years of my life invested. Hard years. Fighting years. Every day a fist fight. Got to do one other because it's too painful. It's painful for coaches, for players, and for people, for fans. It's painful. Put something in it or do away with it, one or the other. That's what they should do. And I don't say that in a negative way. I've been here 9 years. I got 9 years of my life invested here. Hard years. Fighting years. Every day a fist fight. Got to do one other because it's.
There it is. And you hear him repeat it over and over. But you feel the passion there. You feel the energy. You feel the desire to win. And it's almost, at least in my opinion, I won't say me personally, but in my opinion, watching Tiger fans, that was almost stamped out. The fire of even caring about football was nearly dead. You're talking 2,000 people in the Liberty Bowl, maybe, on a given night. I'll never forget, this is not a knock on Larry Porter because I'm not as hard on him as many are, but I will never forget the Mississippi State Memphis game at the Liberty Bowl. Mississippi State came in, cowbells clanging all over the stadium, more maroon and brown than Memphis blue. Just can't even get a snap off because they don't know how to run a play. You know, we got Fred Smith's son at quarterback, all sorts of stuff. To go from that to Justin Fuente, to Mike Norvell, to, all these guys from the Anthony Millers of the world, the Paxton Lynches of the world, you know what I'm saying? All these guys, to see how this program has grown, it is absolutely unbelievable. And to the point where the Tigers are in the top 25 in the country. The Memphis Tigers football team is on primetime ABC coming up this Saturday, the main event. Now, in all honesty, we know a lot of that has to do with SMU being undefeated. But as far as us and Tiger Nation, we're going to make it about Memphis because they ain't going to Dallas. They're coming to Memphis. They're going to come to our home stadium. They're going to come to our home crowd. They're going to come and see the passion that Memphis has for its football team. Because I'm going to tell you something. It's no knock on the game day guys per se. And people didn't want to acknowledge this, but I saw Kurt Herbstreit and Chris Fowler and all those guys were talking about Memphis on Twitter when they were putting it out. Oh, we're going to Memphis. They put that out Saturday because of the game, in Memphis. And I felt like they were mostly condescending to Memphis. They talked about, the Memphis Showboats and all the failed football franchises that have come through Memphis, how the Oilers stayed a year here, and things of that nature. It was almost kind of condescending to me. They really couldn't find. They said, well, they got Rendezvous. When to me, there's better places than Memphis, better barbecue. But that's a whole nother conversation. We got to show them we care about football. But the question is, how much do we really care? How much do you care? Will this weekend show that Memphis can be a football town? Because we've had moments in the past where we've had great crowds, but sometimes disappoint because when it should be a sellout, it's not. To me, there is no excuse whatsoever to not sell out the Liberty Bowl. You're on ABC. You're on College Game Day. And in case y'all didn't know, College Game Day is confirmed. I played the video from College ESPN's official announcement video that College Game Day is coming to Memphis. And the reason I have that backdrop around my camera screen there of Beale Street is because that's where Game Day is going to be. Game Day is going to be live on Beale. And I cannot wait to see that. And I know Memphis is going to show up and show out. So that's going to be something great to see. And I think you got to thank all these coaches, man, from Tommy West to Justin Fuente, who took a step, I think, to pull nothing out of the mud and make it respectable. I'll never forget the game against BYU. When Mose Frazier was our favorite receiver back in the day. Y'all remember Mose Frazier and Paxton Lynch connection? You know what I'm saying? The receiver, I forgot his name. The receiver that transferred from Alabama, who caught the big touchdown, who was from Memphis, who caught the big touchdown against BYU at the end of the game in that drama with Jake Elliott hitting the big field goals. You go from that. That was the height. That was the most excited ever for Tiger football when you win a share of the AAC and you go to the Miami Beach Bowl, the first ever Miami Beach Bowl. That was the height of Memphis football. And now we're talking about primetime ABC. And I got to give Norvell credit. Y'all know I've been critical of him in certain situations. But as far as recruiting and building the program in those aspects, M. David Rudd, Tom Bone, who's no longer the program, those guys did a great job building football to where it is today. And I'm just looking forward to it. So we shall see. I'm going to read some more comments. There's so many coming in on here, and I appreciate it all. Let's see. I read a lot of these. Jeremy V. said, this is awesome. Fill the Liberty Bowl. That is my cry today. Fill the Liberty Bowl. Patricia said, this is very, very big. Christy says, so excited. Love my Tigers. Jackson said, John Taffer for special speaker. Okay. Patricia says, we do. Go Tigers, go. Is it going to be on Beale? It is going to be on Beale Street. Jim McFarland said D'Angelo must be on that stage. He's got to be. If he's not the guest speaker, D'Angelo's got to be somewhere. I'd be shocked if D'Angelo Williams isn't somewhere around, because I saw him at the Grizzlies game, front and center, last night, which we're going to get to later, where there's promise there. So much to talk about. D'Angelo, Penny Hardaway, a lot of people feel like about that. Kim Carter says, so very excited. Go Tigers, go. Patricia said Tommy West was right. So glad they put something in it. I agree. Jeremy says, we better win. And Patricia said they picked Beale Street for a neutral place. So there's that. Let me go to another part here. Todd Harnett says, go Tigers, go. Tigers will show out. Vel says, all our teams squeezed out wins. Yes, we did. It was quite a week for Tennessee sports, to say the least. So much was happening. My Titans, shout out to my Titans, won a game. But the most thing right now is, that's a great point, Greg, is the Memphis Tigers. Let me go to the Talk Back Live page here, see what some comments here. Greg said, this is huge for the program and the city. Kelly says, all the way up. He's turned up. Let's see. Frankie says, do you think Penny will be the guest judge? That's a good question. I'll be shocked if he wasn't, because to be honest with you, Penny is the most relevant of Memphis stars right now, I think, culturally and sports-wise. But I wouldn't be mad if it was, because D'Angelo was a all-time great at a point where the Tigers are trying to come up, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't hate that either. And I can see D'Angelo, he's, as much as he's around the media. Let's see. Greg says, nobody hotter in the city or the state at this time than the Tigers football program. No question. I can say that. It's a time where the Tigers have the number one recruiting class in the country in basketball, and more people are fired up about Tigers football. Amazing time to live. Kelly says the University of Memphis needs to have promotion to encourage fans to fill up the Liberty Bowl. I agree, Kelly, but I need to say this. How much promotion do you need? You got College Game Day. You got ABC, ESPN, primetime television. Now, I can understand, and I get it. I don't blame you if you want to watch at home, because this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime, well, maybe not once-in-a-lifetime, but very rare situation to have Tiger football in such a spotlight on national TV. But you want a good crowd to show the national TV. I've seen too many times on ESPN, me and Bob sit and watch. It's like, man, that's a sad crowd to put on national TV when your team is so good. So hopefully we step up on that end, and I'm glad to see the energy from the Tiger fans here on Facebook. We also got the phone lines open if you want to call in as well, 901-213-6020. If you want to voice your thoughts, where everybody can hear you, we are open. Also, let's see, Jet says, the University of Memphis needs to, oh no, that's Kelly, I read that one. Jet says, I think they should be promoting the tailgating on black radio stations and media platforms. They could get a whole lot better crowds if they be more welcoming to another culture. That's an interesting point. Greg says, this is the time we need Larry Porter's motto, join the revolution. Now it's a revolution, yes. It wasn't so much from Larry Porter. And I think Larry Porter wanted to do well. He's one of the best running backs in Memphis history. Of course he wanted to do well, but it just wasn't the right time. Wasn't the right circumstances. I don't know if anybody could have been successful in Larry Porter's shoes at that moment. Gina says, love me and D'Angelo, but Justin Timberlake is an amazing ambassador for the city on the international stage and would love for them to select him for guest picker. That's a question I'm going to ask you guys. If you want to call in and answer this question too, you can, as well as leaving your comments. Who do you want as the guest picker for College Game Day? Y'all let me know what you think. But College Game Day is the big news, but let us not forget to this point, because something very important happened to get us to this point, and something very dramatic happened to get us to this point. And you guys, if you will turn your attention to me once again, let's look and remember the man who made this all possible. Tulsa field goal kicker. We need to thank him. He made this all come true. The Tulsa field goal kicker, with the incredible performance where it looked like maybe a 27-yard field goal, where me and everybody I was watching the game with were ready to be very upset And I was already upset. I won't even lie to you. The defense did a terrible job on this drive, and really a terrible job in this game. Y'all can give me your reasons, whatever you feel, but the defense was flat out terrible in stretches. Tulsa did whatever they wanted to do, and we cannot let that continue. Adam Fuller's defense has been wildly inconsistent. Praises they've gotten, even from me. And I still think Adam Fuller was a good hire. And the defense is still better than they were last year, which was historically bad. But I don't know what it is. Was it what Tulsa was doing? Because those two running backs could not be stopped. I just don't know. Hey, man, but there's no reason Tulsa should have lost that football game. I feel like the good Lord reached down and pushed that football, sent a eastern wind, or whatever you want to say, and pushed that football to the left, or to the left. I mean, that's almost an explanation I could come up with, because that was just unbelievable to see. One of those games is going to be remembered for a long time.
Bill.
And
to accept, press 1.
Go to the phone lines, and I think it's Bill. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I have an out-of-the-box suggestion for guest picker.
Okay.
Especially since there was some of the cast there from Broad City Law at the Grizzlies game the other night. Why not Jimmy Smith? I mean, his character is from South Memphis, and he graduated from the University of Memphis Law.
Yeah, and now he did. I know that's his character graduated, but you know what? That would be interesting. I think it may be possible, but the show, I heard they may not have another season. I don't know if they're going to put him up on the stage just for that reason, but that would be entertaining. Let me know on Facebook what would you think about that. But go ahead.
All right. Well, like I said, it just helped. It's going to be an infomercial about Memphis anyway, so it just ties in the two. It just ties in the two, and it may help them with, get a few extra viewers.
True. That's a great point, Bill. Hey, man, I appreciate the call and great suggestion. I'm gonna try to send that down there and see if they're gonna do something about that.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, man. All right, that's Bill with his suggestion. If you have a suggestion, feel free to drop it on us. Greg on Facebook says, "Nah, man. I don't know. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a Bluff City Law fan. And I love the fact that the show is in Memphis, and the fact that Memphis got to be showcased, and some people locally, some people I know, got to be on the show. That's cool. But anyway, Kelly on says defense could never get off the field on third down. Exactly. I just don't understand. If it was not for the Tigers offense and Brady White, who I must give credit to on this night, and last week I gave him credit as well, two of the best games he's ever played in his career. Can he be consistent? Because I'm going to tell you something. I do not, see, this is the thing. I do not go back on anything I've said about Brady White last year or this year. But I am a guy, and we here on Talkback Live tell it like we see it. If you play like trash, we're going to let you know. If you don't and you play great, you're going to get credit. And he made a huge play down the sideline to DeMonte Coxey on that drive where the Tigers needed to score. And it was a deep ball down the field along the sideline. And DeMonte Coxey got to show what he can do going down the field, became that close to getting the touchdown. The Tigers ended up running it in. That was huge. Also, let us not forget the 4th and 1, where Brady White and the quarterback sneak was a pivotal play as well late in the second half, where he snuck it up the middle. He did not have it at all, and he just kept pushing, rolled over to the line to where there weren't nearly as many people, and got that first down. That was determination, heart from Brady White. Give him credit for that. But this offense overall, the weapons that he has, from Kenneth Gainwell to DeMonte Coxey to all these receivers that keep popping out of nowhere. Calvin Austin, the Memphian, the all elite track runner, has become a weapon. Shout out to the punter, the Tigers punter, Adam Williams, with that beautiful throw, that standstill throw he threw to Calvin Austin on that 4th down attempt. So it's a lot of people that deserve praise when you talk about the Memphis offense and really the team overall. Let's see. David Greer says Lake and AI together. Okay. Or Al. I think he means Al. Together. That's interesting. Y'all continue to leave your thoughts on who should be the guest picker for the Tigers game this weekend. But anyway, y'all continue to see is a loop in there. What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts when it came down to 4th down and 2? 2 seconds left. Tulsa calls a timeout. Mike Norvell yanks his headset out of whatever it was in. And you could just see he was pissed that he wanted this game bad and thought it was over. What were y'all thinking when the field goal was missed? What was your reaction? Y'all let me know. Let me know, because I'm going to tell you mine. I screamed. I couldn't believe it. And I still can't believe it. I'm watching the replay over and over like y'all. I still can't really believe what happened. Because so much was on the line with that kick. You're not just talking about a game. You're not just talking about any game, a loss in the course of a season. That can go either here or there. But you're talking about college game day. You're talking about the AAC West Division title. You're talking about the chance to go to a New Year's Six Bowl, the Cotton Bowl. All of that was this close to disappearing with the stroke of a foot. And just like that, everything is back alive in Memphis. So I don't know what to say. It was an unbelievable performance by the Tigers offense. The defense needs to get shored up, and hopefully that will happen. Because there's a lot at stake when you talk about Memphis and the football team this year. There's a lot at stake when it comes to that. And this face says it all. I don't know if this is the face of everybody in Memphis, but I can't lie to y'all, man. I feel for old Tulsa head ball coach there. He thought they finally had a win, because what you don't know, had many games like this year where they have struggled to finish off opponents, and he just I can't even imagine what he's thinking, man. So shout out to the Tulsa head coach, and that picture right there, Lord of mercy, tells 1,000 words right there. 901-213-6020. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you got. Let me read some more comments. More have come in since that. Greg says it has to be Penny, Timberlake, or D'Angelo. I get that. Jet says, would be good, in my opinion, if the show wasn't canceled. It'll be good if the show wasn't canceled. Can't use canceled stuff. I hear that. Verdell says Penny with Lil Penny or D'Angelo. Can you imagine if Lil Penny makes his debut on College Game Day? That would be epic marketing. And shout out to Dominic Lawson, by the way. We're going to talk about this and the business aspect of it tomorrow on the Business of Sports segment here on Talkback Live Sports. So y'all stay tuned for that at 2:35 tomorrow on the show. So that's going to be exciting to talk about. Verdell says relief, excitement were his emotions when he missed that field goal. Greg said he heard today, and this is true, that it was the kicker's birthday. Tulsa's kicker, yes, it was his birthday when he missed that field goal. He said, man, talk about a buzzkill. Yes. Let's see. Greg said, I laughed hysterically for several minutes. I don't blame you. Let's see. Jed says, yeah, can we get Chris Rock and Lil Penny back? Or is it Crick Rock? That's a whole nother thing, Jed. Let's see. I got some more comments here. Greg Bernard, what's going on, sir? He says, someone needs to buy a lottery ticket for pulling this win off. They were looking ahead to SMU, he feels. Got caught slipping. Tulsa's really good. They just couldn't put two halves together. Yeah. Tulsa, can't take anything away from them. I do think Memphis was looking ahead, but you cannot take away. When a team whoops you in the second half offensively, that's not a fluke. That is not a fluke, because at a certain point, you make adjustments, and whatever the Tigers tried to work, even up until the end, it didn't work. But thankfully, we kept them from scoring a touchdown, and Tigers history has been made heading into this weekend. Once again, if you have not heard, College Game Day is coming to Memphis. The announcement was made official today, and going forward, it's going to be interesting to see how it looks on national TV, because they're going to be on Beale. There was a debate to hold it either in front of the fountain at Tiger Lane, which is in front of the stadium. They have the stadium, the Liberty Bowl as the backdrop, or Beale Street. And evidently the holdup was logistics and trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to set up everything? So shout out to those guys. I know that was a lot of work to try to come up with a feasible plan to try to see how they can pull this off. So I'm curious to see how this is going to look. My guess is that you have it, and this is going to be probably a traffic nightmare, because game day is a huge setup. But my only guess is that you have FedEx Forum as the backdrop down at the end of Beale, and have the stage set up there and the crowd flood out on Beale behind. I don't know what you're gonna do. I'm curious how all that's gonna work itself out, because Beale is not a huge area. Beale Street is not a huge area where you just see a lot of stuff constantly going on of that big of a magnitude, that is. But nonetheless, it's an iconic area, so I do not blame them for wanting to use Beale Street and use it for its advantages. But y'all still let me know, how huge is this in your opinion? College Game Day coming to Memphis. Memphis is on national television. They've been on ABC before. You talk about the AAC championship game. You talk about Memphis Ole Miss to start the season. Was really the first real college football game, period, on ABC. So that relationship has been built. Plus, the American Athletic Conference has a contract with ESPN, so you have to take on as well. But this is huge, man. I cannot wait to see how Memphis shows up and shows out at College Game Day. So Tigers win 42-41 over Tulsa, dramatic fashion, and sets up history in the making at Memorial Stadium. I'm going to take a commercial break, y'all, and when I come back, we're going to talk another epic thing that happened in Memphis, and that's the Memphis Grizzlies. Do we have the next superstar in Memphis Grizzlies history? Or could you could arguably say the first superstar in Memphis Grizzlies history? Here's a little sneak peek about what we're going to talk about when I come back from the break. So y'all stay tuned. This is Talk Back Live Sports. Stick around, and I'll be right back.
If you're looking for some of the best old-fashioned burgers and cakes in town, Lotta Burger is the place to go for all of your favorites. Lotta Burger, 2260 South 3rd, Memphis, Tennessee, 901-946-2001. They're open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6:45 p.m. And the items on their menu include single, double, triple burgers, Philly sandwiches, smoked sausages, beef hot dogs, grilled cheese, tenders, fries, onion rings, and more. Call-in orders must be done before 11 a.m. No calls accepted after 11 a.m. Drive-thru is available. Hungry for a burger? Lotta Burger, 2260 South 3rd, Memphis, Tennessee, 901-946-2001. Don't just settle for any burger. Get a Lotta Burger.
Graphic Printing, located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, a complete print shop for all your printing needs. They do it all: color copy, resume, funeral program, rubber stamp, full color business cards, wedding and graduation invitations, and more. 30 plus years of quality work and service. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, Tennessee, 901-345-9294. Graphic Printing.
Are you tired of going to the doctor with the same issue over and over again and never getting any relief? Are you tired of buying all types of vitamins and supplements, hoping but not knowing for sure that they will keep you healthy? Or are you getting enough of the right kind of nutrients that your specific body needs? If you answer yes to any of these questions, you need a nutritional blood analysis. With a nutritional blood analysis, we can take one drop of blood from a prick of your finger and analyze your body's nutritional needs, nutritional deficiencies, and nutritional imbalances. This analysis can provide an early warning of possible future health challenges so you can make changes now to avoid the negative outcome. A nutritional blood analysis can be used to monitor a health challenge before and after adopting an approach to restore health and balance. It will also allow you the ability to determine the effectiveness of various approaches to restoring and balancing your health. So don't wait. Make your appointment. Stop guessing with your health. Know what works for sure. 901-602-7063.
Welcome back to the show. A few minutes left in the show today on Talkback Live Sports here on the Talkback Live Network. Check out our website, talkbacklivenetwork.org. Gonna have some coverage later on tonight. The Memphis Tigers take on the Lamoan Owen Magicians at FedEx Forum tonight, 7 p.m. Gonna have our Talkback Live reporter in the building, Leon Taylor. Going to get some coverage from that tonight, so y'all stay tuned. Facebook. Also live on the Spreaker app. Spreaker. It's not speaker, it's Spreaker. It's a free app you can download. Spreaker. And you can hear us live for all of our program. We also got the morning show, Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh, each and every morning, Monday through Thursday. Facebook Live and Spreaker, so y'all check that out where we talk more on the news side of things. News, hot topics of discussion, debates. Basically whatever you want to talk about, we discuss there. So, man, something I could not wait to get to today, as well as, of course, Tiger football news. This right here, my goodness, what a weekend in Memphis sports. Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now, good people. This is what I was talking about when it came to this year and the Memphis Grizzlies. This is exactly what I was talking about. I knew this year, and I still stick by it, right? This year is not going to be a year of a ton of wins. This is not going to be a year of championship aspirations. This is not going to be a year of, it's going to be a year of a lot of losses. I'm going to just be point blank with you. And that's what you should expect coming into this season. I know it doesn't feel good to say that, but you just have to be real with yourself. When you finally go through a much-needed rebuild, this is what happens. But I must say this also. You can expect more of what you saw last night. That's for sure. And I'm not just talking about game winners. I'm not just talking about the excitement of winning a game at the buzzer against a team that a lot of people expect to be in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is excitement, period. Is youth, enthusiasm, newness of life. It's a breath of fresh air, man. And the Grizz have not been a breath of fresh air for a long time. And the reason for that breath of fresh air is a couple of things. One, you have a new front office. Two, you have a new head coach. And three, and most importantly, you have a future superstar at the helm of your franchise in Ja Morant. I'm going to tell you something right now. This is what I was expecting. I was waiting on a game like this. Because I started to see people after the first two games of the season and after the preseason, people are starting to say, well, I think Ja Morant's going to be one of those guys that's going to be really good. He's going to be an all-star at some point. He's going to be a guy that, he's going to be a project. It's going to be those guys that you have to work on and groom and mold. And any rookie, you're going to have to groom and mold him. I'm not saying he's ready-made per se. But what I am going to say, this is far from Mike Conley Jr. as a rookie. I think it's safe to say this at this point. I sincerely, and shout out to y'all, some more people just coming in from the Grizzlies group, Grizz Nation, the Grindhouse as well. Welcome in. But what we got here in Ja Morant is something I really and truly do not believe the Grizzlies have ever had before. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't think I am. I can't remember the Grizzlies ever having this much promise in a rookie. In a rookie that is just coming into the league. In his third game as a professional. And for him to go head up with Kyrie Irving, a bona fide, legitimate superstar of the highest order in this league, a man that's won a championship, a man that, is incredible, and he showed how incredible he was last night at FedEx Forum. But Ja Morant went blow for blow with Kyrie. Sometimes Mike Conley didn't look this good against Kyrie Irving, even at his very best. What Ja has is not only just impeccable court vision. It's not only just, his insane athleticism for the point guard position. What he has is that intangible it factor. And I noticed that even back in the preseason, the greatest players have a competitive edge to them. And every athlete is competitive, but the great guys, the great ones, have an extra edge that is even more than the average person. Some guys in the NBA, they can stand to lose a game or two. It's like, okay, well, on to the next. And Ja says all the right things, but you can tell after the first two games, those losses ate him up. Preseason, those losses ate him up. He's one of those guys that'll go back in the lab on the court after a loss in the preseason to Charlotte and see what he needs to do to get better. That's how competitive Ja is. And here's even more of an example. Taurean Prince is a player for the Brooklyn Nets, right? Formerly with the Atlanta Hawks. Formerly with Baylor, at the University of Baylor in college. Him and Ja kind of got into it earlier in the game. And you saw from that point on, Ja Morant said, okay, I'm going to show you something. This game is now mine. And for a rookie to have that mentality, he's not playing like a rookie. He's not acting like a rookie. He's not, cowering to the vets like, oh, let me ease my way in. No, he's coming in and saying, I'm good enough now. And I love after the game in the locker room, they talked to Ja Morant, and he said, they talked about what he did, and he said it's just Ja being Ja. He was rubbing his hands. He said it's just Ja being Ja. He said, man, that's just me doing what I do. Now, he's not American to the point of being a jerk, but he's confident in his abilities. And his competitive nature, you saw, I noticed in the first couple of games as well, with any shot he hits, he almost celebrates on every shot he makes. And personally, I love it, man. You're talking about a guy, he's out there flexing, he's out here screaming, he's yelling, he's fired up for everything he does, man. And that is the difference between greatness and average. You know what I'm saying? And I just see greatness all over Ja Morant. This is something the Grizz have never had before. Mike Conley was a good draft pick. Pau Gasol, I think back to Pau as a rookie. Pau was really, really good as a rookie. I don't know if I can include him in that cat. He didn't have no killer instinct like Ja does, but you could tell Pau was going to be special next level. He was rookie of the year. Pau had some games where he just went crazy. If you look back at his rookie stats, you kind of be surprised, like I was. But anybody else? No. Rudy Gay? No. Kyle Lowry? No. Shane Battier? No. I'm thinking of all the great Grizz rookies, some of the better rookies that they've had in the history of the franchise. Of this franchise's history, for the most part, were guys that came from other places. Zach Randolph, Tony Allen, even Marc Gasol. We can't take complete credit because the Lakers drafted Marc Gasol. They gave up on Marc, traded him to Memphis, and the rest was history. But for a guy that the Grizz actually went out, sought out, scouted, and drafted, I can't think of anybody to the level of what Ja is producing. So for 2 straight years, let's think about this. The Grizz scouted and drafted Jaren Jackson Jr. Then the Grizz scouted and drafted Ja Morant the next year. Then the Grizz scouted and drafted Brandon Clark, who I compare to Sean Marion with his athleticism, his ability to play the 3 and the 4, to guard multiple positions, and insane athleticism, can occasionally hit an outside shot, can slash, can rebound better than his size. That's why I think Sean Marion is a good comparison to me to what Brandon Clark brings. Kind of undersized for a 4. you know. And, you know, another guy that's going to be a very solid player. But, you know, that was what last night meant to me more than just a Jay Crowder 3. It's not to discredit Jay Crowder because he is a very valuable piece because he is one of the few veterans that this Grizzlies team has. But it's just amazing, man. Let me look at the comments here. Jet says, that's the same difference I was trying to tell everyone about Penny's same winning season last year and Tubby's the year before. Fans can stand a bad season as long as there's hope for the future. Love this team and John. I agree. And that was the one thing I did not go as far as most when it came to Tubby Smith because I feel like if he's your head coach, you have to ride with who your coach is. Nothing wrong with criticism, but disrespect, I think, was ridiculous, and I think that's what happened with Tubby. But I do get the fact that there was not a ton of hope for the future because recruiting did not go that well. Now, with Penny, he had that cushion. He made sure he made those inroads early so that after that first season, he's like, hey, this is what we got coming up. Now is where the real pressure comes for Penny Hardaway. But looking forward to the game tonight. The Tigers take on the Mono Magicians at FedEx Forum, y'all. Check that out. Going to see if we can get an update later for the condition of James Wiseman. I know conflicting reports here and there. You know, the Tigers say he's fine. Other people seem to be really, really worried. Penny's like, hey, stop worrying. Everything's fine. What's the real case? Hey, we'll see. I'm going to try to do some digging on that. I'm excited for the Grizzlies' future. The Grizzlies play the Lakers next. So that should be really fun to see Ja, Jaren, and Jonas, and Jay Crowder. A lot of Jays on this team. Take on LeBron and Anthony Davis. That should be really fun. So we shall see what happens. Man, so much going on. College game days coming to Memphis this week. And Memphis is the Tigers, the football team is on national television taking on SMU. The Grizzlies are relevant, even though they're not going to be great. The future is bright. The Tigers' future is bright. The present is now. So I cannot wait to see how this all plays out, man. And we're all gonna go on this ride together. So that is definitely gonna be fun. So as for me, that's gonna do it for me. That's gonna do it for this show on today. And be sure y'all follow our social media, Talkback Live with Bob and Josh. Like my Facebook page if you haven't, Talkback Live with Bob and Josh. Follow us on Twitter at Talkback Live. Follow us on the Spreaker app. Free download on any device. And stay notified for all our upcoming programs. You're going to see me again tomorrow, Talkback Live with Bob and Josh. You may see me on later with some coverage of Tigers and Lamoan Owens. So, without any further ado, I am Joshua Midget, co-founder of Talkback Live Network, and we're out of here.
If you're looking for some of the best old-fashioned burgers and cakes in town, Lotta Burger is the place to go for all of your favorites. Lotta Burger, 2260 South 3rd, Memphis, Tennessee, 901-946-2001. They're open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6:45 p.m. And the items on their menu include single, double, triple burgers, Philly sandwiches, smoked sausage, beef hot dogs, grilled cheese, tenders, fries, onion rings, and more. Call-in orders must be done before 11 a.m. No calls accepted after 11 a.m. Drive-thru is available. Hungry for a burger? Lotta Burger, 2260 South 3rd, Memphis, Tennessee, 901-946-2001. Don't just settle for any burger. Get a Lotta Burger.
Graphic Printing, located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, a complete print shop for all your printing needs. They do it all: color copy, resume, funeral program, rubber stamp, full color business cards, wedding and graduation invitations, and more. 30 plus years of quality work and service. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, Tennessee, 901-345-9294. Graphic Printing.
Are you tired of going to the doctor with the same issue over and over again and never getting any relief? Are you tired of buying all types of vitamins and supplements, hoping but not knowing for sure that they will keep you healthy? Or are you getting enough of the right kind of nutrients that your specific body needs? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you need a nutritional blood analysis. With a nutritional blood analysis, we can take one drop of blood from a prick of your finger and analyze your body's nutritional needs, nutritional deficiencies, and nutritional imbalances. This analysis can provide an early warning of possible future health challenges so you can make the changes now to avoid the negative outcome. A nutritional blood analysis can be used to monitor a health challenge before and after adopting an approach to restore health and balance. It will also allow you the ability to determine the effectiveness of various approaches to restoring and balancing your health. So don't wait. Make your appointment. Stop guessing with your health. Know what works for sure. 901-602-7063.
CJU's Appliances, located at 3530 Jackson Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-487-7882. CJU's Appliances has the best prices in town. Sales and service, heating and air. Also the best appliances you'll find anywhere in the Mid-South. Refrigerators, microwave stoves, washers and dryers, deep freezers, dishwashers, whatever you need in used appliances. And folks will tell you they're the best used appliances anywhere you'll find. That's CJU's Appliances, 3530 Jackson Avenue. All appliances come with warranty. You can call them at 901-487-7882. Again, 901-487-7882. CJU's Appliances. C&S Motors Auto Sales, located at 2508 Summer Avenue, here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-323-8778. C&S Motors Auto Sales has been around since 1984. Go by and see Chris Day for some of the best pre-owned and used vehicles in the city. They have SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, whatever you're looking for in pre-owned used vehicles. Hey, you can find it right there at C&S Motors Auto Sales. See Chris since 1984. They will treat you right. Call them at 901-323-8778. That's 901-323-8778. 2508 Summer Avenue, C&S Motors Auto Sales.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson of the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.